the rest of it's perfectly fine.
Okay. Now I have a better place to stand. I'd take pasta salad.
Yeah, that's gross.
Broccoli. Ooh, that looks like a good broccoli.
It's pretty decent. How do those tomatoes look over there?
Here's a bag of grapefruit.
Corn.
So have you guys ever been caught?
No.
I've never had any situations, but I know a lot of people who have.
That always
I feel like,
makes me nervous.
Yeah, no, I always get nervous. I feel like there's going to be some point in time where we get in trouble, but I mean, I can't imagine, like...
I feel like it'll really depend on the cop.
I know. Should we go somewhere else or just keep trying to dig through here?
I think we should go somewhere else. This is something.
Okay, that's fine. We can just go to the other one.
Okay. We'll feed, 60, 70, maybe, hopefully 80 people tomorrow with it.
This was still a really low night.
Yeah.
But we still got a good amount for it being a low night.
Yeah, and that's one night. Like, you could go back and find
the
same amount of food almost every night.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's been times before where, like, I don't know, those were pretty low dumpsters, but where they're, like, literally overflowing where I can't even get in the dumpster.
Yeah.
And there's so much food. I feel like the night a couple weeks ago where we got all the strawberries. Oh, wait, I don't want to go down West Nash. Well, I guess we'll cut down level. I forgot I was going back to King College.
Well, we feed people who need to be fed. We take, right now, between 60, 65 people on a weekly basis who might not otherwise have access to healthy home-cooked food, who might not otherwise have, any sort of resemblance of a decent meal available to them, and we give that to them for free.
Well, everything is vegan because you can really reach the most people that way. Not in all cases, but I mean, a lot of people are vegetarian, a lot of people are vegan, whether it be by choice or by allergies or anything. But oftentimes, the vegan diet usually is more accessible to a lot of people. Some of the people we feed actually get really thrown off because they're not used to eating vegan food. They're used to eating a lot more meat and a lot of other things, so they don't even eat that many vegetables. And I remember, there's a lot of times where people we feed will be like really weirded out by a lot of the vegetables, but they'll try them and then they'll say like, I never liked Brussels sprouts until I tried these Brussels sprouts. So usually cooking, we have anywhere from like 5. One day we had 20 people help cooking maybe, which is crazy. It's like, it was awesome. And then usually pretty much anyone who comes to the meal just helps us like get everything set out and helps to serve and even clean up from there.
We get donations from the local nature center. We get donations from various local gardeners and farmers. We get donations from the local food co-op. And we also get a lot of our food out of a dumpster, which sounds strange to a lot of people, but what most people don't realize about that is that if you go to some of these larger grocery chains, you can't buy like a single apple or a single potato or a single orange or a single anything. It's all prepackaged, and they don't sell them in singles. So if one of those vegetables or one of those pieces of fruit in the bunch goes bad, they just throw the entire thing away. And they don't salvage the stuff that's actually good. So we're wasting thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of food on a daily basis that could otherwise be used to feed people who need it. No real reason. I can't even think of a good reason that we're doing that. There's not one.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
Just give me a little hand in there.
All right. Me and my friends relish our vegetables.
It's actually a really big mix of people. Kalamazoo has a pretty big homeless population, and the missions are not very far away from where we feed people in the park. So we get a lot of people who really are in need, who really do need what we provide and aren't getting that anywhere else. And definitely not without strings attached. So they probably comprise the bulk of who we feed. We also feed a lot of the just local, activist scene in general. We feed random community members who just happen to be walking through the park who might not have ever heard of us before. Like, we're open to anybody. We'll feed anybody who comes. That's the bulk of who we feed, but we're constantly trying to bring in more and more people to feed because it's a community building exercise. It's not just for the poor and impoverished, even though that's kind of who we're targeting, but it's for everybody. Essentially, the idea behind it is that we're dropping nearly $600 billion a year in a defense budget to fuel wars overseas and blowing up civilian populations left and right, while thousands and thousands of people on a daily basis are starving. It's absurd. And so the idea is that we should be giving people food and not dropping bombs on them.
Obviously, I would always say the most rewarding thing is just being able to feed people who would be going hungry, which is like, the reason why I do it. But at the same time, as much as that's probably the most rewarding thing, something that's notable, I think, is just like the way that it really does like bring community together. It's really inspiring to see like what people are capable of doing when they work together. As corny as that sounds, but not one person can do food not bombs. They would get burnt out even if they were capable of doing it by themselves. I've watched that happen, and the fact is the only way that this can be like a collective that sustains itself is if everyone just like works together. And like, it's not even that much work for that many people, but like if that many people just want to help, like so many people don't really know how to cook and are really not comfortable cooking, but they come to help cook just because they want to help. And like, that's really incredibly inspiring, because in addition to just like having like, obviously the incredible feeling of being able to feed people who shouldn't be hungry because they deserve that food, at the same time it's just like seeing that many people want to help and want to do that, in addition to like just wanting to do that myself, is really good.
We recognize problems that exist within the social structure of our society, and we're trying to change that. On top of just complaining about it, which we definitely do, but we're also doing something to try and combat that, even if it's just like a Band-Aid solution to a huge problem. It's 2012. We have the financial resources, we have the technological capability to feed every person on the planet. There's no reason we shouldn't be doing this. It's a human right.